raising women's voices.
One story at a time.
Welcome to the She Said Project podcast. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the She Said Project podcast. I'm Jeanette Jerzyk, one of your two hosts, here with my friend Carrie Rasso, joining us in the WCIA studios, where we've been recording for the past few months and having an absolute blast.
It is. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, girl.
You know
hi.
what? This is like taking a break in my very chaotic day where we get to just go, we get to zen out and be like, we're here, we're focused, we're present, and we get to hang out with some cool ladies.
Right. It's a pretty sweet gig. Like it's a beautiful break in our days, and I hope we offer that to the people who are watching. Like, we're all just going to come together and have just a big breath time.
I appreciate that. Yes, if you're listening and you're ready for another fun episode, hopefully you can take a little pause in our very busy days, which so many women doing all the things, and you can go, okay, this is my chance to connect and get grounded and centered and be real.
Yeah.
It's about being real.
Well, and I often think about young parents. I remember being so desperate. I'm sure that I frightened many of people.
Desperate's the word.
Desperate for adult conversation.
Okay, yes.
I mean, whatever, if the shoe fits. But seeing people and just like talking their ear off and then they would be like, I gotta go, got places to be. And I would be like, let's talk politics, let's talk art, let's talk
grown-up talk.
Right? And then I'm like, call me. Yeah. Because you just get those brief little nuggets of time. And so now I hope we can give that to some
I love that,
folks.
Actually.
Yeah.
If any one of our friends who's listening has that kind of life right now and just needed a reprieve, we are here for you.
We're here for you.
And you can talk back at the podcast. We'll pretend we're listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hear you, sis.
That's right.
That's right.
I learned from a She Said alum that she actually puts on our podcast when she goes running. And so think about that for a second.
So
Like,
it really, she picks up the pace. She's like running from us. I don't know how to take that.
I'm not sure. Apparently that she's running to the sound of our conversation.
Okay.
And I don't know. That's kind of cool.
I like it. I like it.
So we got to create a good rhythm.
Yeah,
Do you know who
okay.
has a lot of rhythm? Let me tell you about who has a lot of rhythm. Our guest today. Wasn't that a perfect segue?
It was perfect.
So good. I have been so excited about bringing her on the podcast. We've been trying this for months. I'm going to be honest here. This has been a game of cat and mouse and chase and follow and phone tag. I don't know. We have been trying to make this happen. Today's the day.
Well, you know what they say. You want to get something done, ask a busy woman. And this is a busy woman. So
I don't think it gets any busier than Tierra Brown from Danville, Illinois, who's sitting right here in person. Woohoo!
Hello, everyone.
Tierra, welcome.
How are you?
Welcome. I am fantastic. I introduced you as someone with rhythm, someone who's got a beat. And I do. I think you have music in your head at all times.
I think so too.
I think the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you address the world, you got music playing all the time.
Well, and I think so. Big shocker. I was not a cheerleader, but my sister was, and I think that about her too. I think there's something like when you are a cheer person. I'm not sure the right language. My sister will be mad at me, but you've always got that rhythm going in your head. And my opinion is like she always seems so together and graceful and like
there's
her
a certain
body.
energy.
There is, and so it's like the cheer coach energy.
And you know what's crazy is I was never a cheerleader in school. I was a dancer. Yeah, it's a crazy story how I got the cheer position initially, but we're here now. So
Okay, so everyone can follow along.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us all of the titles or all of the things you currently do, and then we'll back it up and figure out how you got there.
Okay, so let's see. I'm currently a career and technical education teacher at Urbana High School. So I teach social media marketing, entrepreneurship, sports and entertainment marketing, co-op, and I've taught business law. I'm also the head cheer coach at the high school at Urbana High School. I currently am starting my dance team back up. New rebrand.
Okay.
I'm the co-coordinator for Toys in the Hood. which is a toy distribution. We're going into our 11th year. So we give out toys to low-income areas of Danville. Let me see, what else? I mean, those are the things right now that I can think of.
Now, when I met you a couple years ago, getting ready for the very first, that's what she said, Danville. So you hail from Danville, Illinois.
Yes.
And you were definitely a dance teacher. I think you owned a studio at one point.
Yep.
You did drill team. I mean, so there's layer upon layer upon layer of rhythm and music and dance. And then I came and saw you perform in... you and Mary Catherine did a little number
that was
the fundraiser.
Yes, that was Dancing with the Stars.
Danville's Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. I also was the choreographer for our theater program at Urbana High School, but once I got the cheer position, I had to sadly step away.
Right. Last time you and I talked, I think you were doing the theater choreography. So when did cheer take over? Yeah.
So I'm going into my 3rd year coaching. So 2 years ago. I really was in the process of like trying to figure out if I wanted to move out of state. So when the position came open, I was like, I don't really want to do that. It's okay. And then I just kept sitting with it like, well, I think the kids need somebody like me. So I applied and got the job.
Yeah. Now, Carrie, you're an educator. Can you imagine this energy walking into the classroom? Right.
Tired.
Right.
Like, let's just skip the interview. Yeah. Hello, nice to meet you. When can you start?
Do the young people of our community need this in their lives?
Oh, my gosh. Yes. And the investment that it takes to be in a school, like that it's all of those soft skills. Like clearly you love the kids, you love what you do, but you aren't an Urbana girl. Like you're coming from Danville.
Yes.
How did you land with so much love in a Champaign-Urbana school?
So I'm also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Of course you are.
And my line sister, she works at Urbana High School. I got a phone call literally before she called me. I was literally looking up every job possible. I literally feel like I turned in like 20 applications with no interview. So she called me like, hey, I think you'll be a good teacher. And I was like, I am not a teacher. I don't want to do that. She was like, no, I think it would be really great.
This was not your path.
No, ma'am, at all.
Well, dance teacher.
Yes, but I never thought classroom teacher.
Okay.
I never thought that. So when she said that, I'm like, let me just think
but
about
it. Translates, I think.
So when I applied, interviewed, they loved me. I got the job, and I started as a long-term sub. And I really do love this path. Like, I love it. I never thought that I would. I never thought this would be my career path at all. I'm actually going into next school year. I have a new role. So I still will be in education, but I'm going to be the CTE coordinator for our career and technical education. So the department that I work in, but now I'm going to be a coordinator for 6th through 12th grade. So I'm really excited about that.
A whole new career path you had no idea was right in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember you were definitely toying with the idea of leaving the state of Illinois and looking for greener pastures or different opportunities. Yeah, you had all kinds of ideas.
I did.
And then sometimes it's right in your own backyard.
It is. And I'm happy that I ended up staying. I'm happy that I processed those things and just, instead of just being emotional in those decisions and going based off of that. Obviously, there were some there would have been some good pros that would have came with it, but I do think staying is more beneficial than the thought of me leaving.
Well, you're building something now, something with a lot of meaning. What you don't know, or maybe you know, Carrie, so Tierra was in That's What She Said, Danville. And then when we brought our teen program to Danville, guess who came and helped out and made it happen?
Oh, big shocker.
Yeah. I know. So I got to see her in action with these teen girls. I got to witness her power. I was really impressed. And so I'm not surprised in the slightest that this is where you landed.
We are lucky. Danville is lucky. Urbana. Like, you're just a blessing in all these different places. And now we have you in the podcast.
And we're going to play your story in just a minute. Your story, a completely different topic. Yes, we got to know you as the woman, behind the dance moves. But I don't want to give it away, but the story idea we talked about, it's called The Strong Friend. What does that mean to you?
I'll say at the time of creating the story, strong friends to me is somebody who literally puts everybody else and everything before themselves. And at the time, strongly, I feel as if that on top of that, on top of putting everyone and everything in before you, you also forget about yourself. So like I felt as if like, oh, I'm this friend for my friends, but do I have that friend like myself? And not consciously paying attention to it. I didn't think that I had that friend until we laid out the story, and I've always had those type of friends.
So I want to hear, back up a little bit, how did you, before you were selecting what story to tell, how did you become connected with She Said?
Okay, that's a good question. So actually, Janae Amatis, DJ Silky, she had actually contacted me before I had spoke to Jeanette or
Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda.
Croce
Yes,
was our original producer in Danville.
She was fabulous.
So before I spoke with them, she had kind of reached out to me like, "Hey, I kind of talked you up a little bit, and these people are going to be reaching out to you." And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And she kind of explained, and I was like, "Okay, I think I would be interested in it. I will mind sitting down." I've always been that person who doesn't mind talking, so I don't mind being in front of people and all those things. That wasn't a fear, but I think starting it, because us building the story, it took us a while. The story that we ended with was not where we started. So I started second guessing myself and overthinking and all the things until we came up with a story. So, but shout out to DJ Silky.
Yeah, no, and she was phenomenal in the show. Loved having her. And yeah, your story was a surprise to me as well. And so we don't want to give it away. We'll let our friends hear it for themselves, and then we'll come back and share some more. So we'll be right back after this break, and you'll get to hear the strong friend for yourself. Help us cheer on today's guest, Tierra Brown, and enjoy her performance from That's What She Said Danville 2023. Here is The Strong Friend.
When I ask people what characteristics describe me, I tend to hear things like resilient, confident, persistent, brave, kind-hearted, determined, passionate, and loyal. But those who truly know me, like know me better than I know myself know me, they know a side that most people don't get to see. Y'all, I am the silliest person that you may ever meet. I am crazy, clumsy, goofy, nonstop laughing machine, and there is never a dull moment with me. Or is there? To most, I'm considered to be the strong friend. You know, the friend that clearly has it all together because she's always been known as the mature one. Or the friend who is expected to always have a smile on her face. And the moment she doesn't, she's told she's being ungrateful, hateful, and unappreciative. We can't forget the friend who is expected to show up to any and everybody's anything, despite the 1,000,001 things that's already placed on the schedule. How dare I cancel and tell someone I can't make it? Because then I'm known as the unsupportive friend and the friend who only cares about herself. The strong friend can't possibly be overwhelmed because that friend is told things like, "Oh, you got it. You were made for this." And these things may be true, but what about me? I deserve a break too. Sometimes my tears are masked by laughter in order to keep myself going. I grieve differently. I handle trauma differently. But I'm expected to consistently move at a pace that serves others, all while neglecting myself. The strong friend. On August 12th at around 11:50 p.m., I experienced something that I never thought that I would experience. Not Tierra, the 2009 prom queen. Not Tierra, the college graduate. Not Tierra, the community advocate. Yes, Tierra Brown, shot by a stray bullet while being an innocent bystander, enjoying a night out with her friends. There I was, at one point, laughing and joking as I walked to my car, and literally in a matter of seconds, in a blink of an eye, my life flashed before my eyes. At first, I thought I heard fireworks. Then the sounds grew louder and closer, then instantly there was a voice in my head that was so clear and precise, yelling, telling me to get down. It was so clear as if my friends were all yelling directly in my ear, telling me. I hit the ground, frantic, nervous, and in disbelief. I couldn't believe this was actually happening to me. These things aren't supposed to happen to people like me. But I would soon realize the saying that was once told to me as a child, bullets don't have eyes, would soon become my reality. As I hit the rocky ground, I felt a sharp piercing to my chest as if I landed on a rock. "Girl, get off that ground," one friend stated to me as she laughed and thought I was being my dramatic self. With a monotone voice, I said quietly, "I think I was shot." Not hearing a word that came out my mouth, my friend said, "Girl, you were laid out," as a burst of laughter consumed her voice. As soon as I began to get up, I had the urge to grab my chest. "I think I was shot," I said again with a little more assertiveness in my voice, as I took my hand away from the pain and watched the blood spread across my white t-shirt. Instantly, my friends went into panic mode, screaming and trying to figure out what our next move was going to be. I stood there, stuck in time as if I was in the Matrix. I could hear the commotion around me, but I couldn't move. All I could do was stare down at my chest, trying to comprehend what just happened to me. "Get in the car, where are your keys, who's driving her to the hospital," were all questions and conversations that needed my attention, but I couldn't focus on them. I was focused on an episode of Grey's Anatomy. You know, the one where there was a gunman loose in the hospital. I remember hearing them say to apply pressure to the wound and don't panic, because the more you panic, the faster the blood will rush out. Who knew my obsession with Grey's Anatomy would save my life? Here I am, thinking I'm Meredith Grey with a gunshot wound to the chest and moving slower than a sloth on Madagascar. I did everything except get in the car so they could take me to the hospital. I picked my bucket hat off the ground and threw it in the back seat. Couldn't forget that. I threw a cup off the roof of my car. Who knows what my why was for that? And then I called my mom. Calm, cool, and collected. "Mom, I was just shot." And then I passed the phone over to my friend who was driving my vehicle. Looking back, maybe that wasn't the best way to inform her, but I wanted her to hear it from me and know that I was okay. The entire ride to the hospital, I prayed this couldn't be my time to go. This couldn't be how I left this earth. I looked up to God and said, "Lord, I have so much more work to do. This can't be my time to go." After 4 hours, around 4:30 a.m., as I was wheeled out into the lobby where my family and close friends were patiently awaiting my arrival, I recognized that they were all there in support of me, the strong friend. I realized in that moment, I am so much more than a crazy, clumsy, goofy, nonstop laughing machine. I am resilient, confident, persistent, brave, kind-hearted, determined, passionate, and loyal. I am the strong friend.
Wow, Tierra, it's one thing to realize that you've been this strong friend all along, but to be the vulnerable one, to be the one who needs help, and to be surrounded by people who showed up for you. Like, you can see the shift in your perspective, and thank goodness they were there. I remember when she told me that this happened, and I was like, I'm sorry, did you say that again? Like, I literally did not hear you. Like, say that again. And you never expect someone you know to be like, yeah, shot by a random stray bullet. But what a profound moment in your life.
So how was it for you? Was it an easy step to make to let others be the strong friend for you? Or were you trying to direct traffic and maintain
clean off
that
the car
role?
a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little difficult. However, I think it was just difficult because I just have always been that person for other people. And I don't think I knew how to let people be that person for me. I still go back and forth with that a little bit now, but not as much as I have in the past. So I just think it was just a matter of, like Jeanette said, being vulnerable. Also, now looking at it, understanding the differences between being honest, transparent, and vulnerable. So like even in those moments, being transparent enough to say, I need help, versus waiting for someone to ask me the question and then being honest that I need help. So like those are just steps also that I have to work within myself to realize that I did have those people. So yeah, I just had to get out of my own way, really.
Okay, as a mom, I'm going to need some
That
more
phone call?
information about that call. And your mom, tell me you didn't just drop that
I did.
and hang
literally
up.
just
like,
no, I
your
didn't hang up.
mom, I'm like, I'm seeing it through her perspective. Like, you can't just drop
Sorry,
that.
Mom. Yeah, so literally, I was that calm though. So when I called her, she actually answered with an attitude because it was midnight. So she was asleep.
Yeah, she did.
So she answered like, hello. And I was like, hey, I was just calling to let you know I was just shot. And she was like, what? And my word, yeah, I was just shot. So I'm just going to pass the phone over to my friend. And then I passed the phone to the person I was driving. And then I just started praying. But I was that calm.
Were you hopeful that your friend would properly explain everything to
I
your mom?
was hopeful of
Okay,
that. I don't know if that
okay.
happened. But I will say that in my mind, I was thinking, I don't want her to look on Facebook.
Oh.
I didn't want that to happen. So I didn't know if she was up or not. I didn't know if she was. I didn't know. But I also know that when people talk, it's going to go. So that's what I didn't want to happen. So I wanted her to hear it from me.
So you were looking out for someone else, even moments from being shot.
Yes.
Okay, now.
This
Yeah.
tracks.
See?
This tracks.
Busted.
Okay.
Busted. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, you were worried about what mom would go through. Holy cow.
I didn't even think about that.
And so there's this life lesson moment here, right? But you didn't have to, but because something so significant, so severe happened, it forced you to reflect and to look at the whole scenario and make some big choices and decisions. And what if we could tell girls or young people or women in our lives, it's okay to have friends to lean on. What are these lessons that you took away that maybe we could all learn from without something so drastic happening?
I feel like one of the biggest things is I think one of my problems was not that I wouldn't allow them to be the friend that they wanted to be for me, but realizing that they are not going to be me. So I had to realize that, like, you're going to be the version of a friend that you think is a friend to me because that's how you would do it, not how I would do it. So it's not a thing. I would want people to do how I would do them, and I think that created a block. Yeah.
Not allowing them to find their own way to be
Yes.
there for you.
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm sure then it broadens because we all see it through our lens. Like if I'm being supportive, it looks like this. But realizing when that person is being supportive, it just looks different
Yes.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I
know.
am processing this one. No,
Jeanette's
it's good.
brain is like literally coming out of her ears right
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
But it's so true. I want you to know that we're crossing the 500 mark of how many women have shared stories, and that's what she said. And this idea of the strong friend has come up again and again in other women's stories. And for me, you were the original, so I'm so excited to have this conversation. But there is this belief that women have to be the strong one, and it's all or nothing. You can't be both until you go through an experience, either, being shot outside of a club one night or standing on a stage and being vulnerable and sharing your story. It's an experience that forces women to reflect on relationships and, where they can, let go. And so I just wanted to share with you that you inspired, me to have this conversation, but it has come up again. I'm sure you're not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I would say that I do think that, I would assume that women have this thought often about the whole strong friend discussion. I think that sometimes it could be fear or the thought of losing someone in the sense of like a friendship or a companion with not opening up and being vulnerable with telling them how you would feel. And what I can say is I'm very appreciative of the friends that I do have, because we can tell each other when we are wrong, when we are right, and be okay with that. But that took me a long time to process as well. Like, I'm that friend that's like, don't tell me, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to hear that. However, I'm now the person that once you tell me the things you feel I'm doing wrong, I'm going to go process them. Let me go process it. I may not give you a response right now, but I'll come back and I'll be able to process it and we can have a conversation about it. But that took steps too. But I feel like that is all aligned with the strong friend.
Well, I think that we can all switch hats. That is another, well, maybe I was going to say for women, but I'm sure for all people that, so I have two good friends that we always joke, like, this is the person who's going to drive the getaway car. This is the person who would talk to the
bail
police.
money, right?
Yeah, who's going to show up with the money. But in reality, depending on, like, we all will step into whatever role is needed. And so I think that's what your story really showed, that even though we see ourselves as the person with bail money or the driving the getaway car, whatever it is, that we all really can just switch hats for when whatever friend needs something.
And even in my situation, I had a friend that was outside the hospital that at the time we were not on speaking terms. So we seen each other that night, actually, right before all that happened. We did not, I think it was probably like a dry high, probably, but we did not speak. That friend was outside and not knowing what was happening to me. My first thought, which didn't last long, but it was my first thought, like, oh, now you feel away. Like, oh, now. But then I had to stop, like, no, like, that's what they're supposed to do. What would have been my response if they didn't show up? So I had to process that too, that, okay, yes, we were going through something, but at the same time, this was eye-opening for both of us, because...
Like, if the tables were turned, what would you have done?
Right. I would have did what that person did. I would have been out there. So
Did you refer to it as a dry high?
yes, dry.
Have you heard that term before?
No, but I logged it away.
I totally
I'm
logged
going
it.
to use
I'm
that and
like-
act like it's mine.
Same.
That was fabulous.
Same. I was like, oh, I can apply that. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna fake it, but like, oh hey, but it was just like
Yeah.
a hey.
I always call it the small hello.
Yes,
Like they
yes.
gave me the small
Okay.
hello. But this is I'm updating my language.
I
There we
know.
go.
I'm learning things. No, your story is not the only one that we've heard the concept of the strong friend. Your story is also not the only one that has quoted Grey's Anatomy as a life-saving
Let's
mechanism.
go, Grey Anatomy fans.
Do you know what I'm talking
self-care.
about?
Yes,
oh my
heck
gosh.
yeah.
We had, and she's been on the podcast. We had a woman who gave birth, and there was, an emergency during, the delivery, and she quoted something from the show to the doctors, like, do I still have the time to get the shot? And he asked her, are you a medical professional? She's like, no, I saw it on the crossover episode. Like, it was hilarious.
Yes.
Grey's
I love
Anatomy,
it.
it's saving real lives.
Really.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And the fact that you also had like a vivid memory
Yes.
of a technique to use. Brilliant.
Shout out to Grey's Anatomy.
Brilliant.
Shonda, thank you for writing it.
That's so true. Oh, that's so true. But I mean, practical application right there in the streets.
Yeah.
Danville.
Yes.
The streets of Danville.
Yes.
Right.
Now, I know I talked to you about this when we were working your story. Did you ever get any closure? Did you ever find out what happened that night?
Not 100%. Actually, so apparently, allegedly, there was someone. So how the bar was set up, when they drove past, they had to go to a stop sign. So it was a 4-way stop. Allegedly, there was someone there outside that, like, literally across the street from the car, and seen the people who did that. I happen to know, because Danville's so small, so I happen to know that person's, like, a person's relative or whatever. So I was trying to reach out, like, hey, can you please contact them because I need to da-da-da. That person was very helpful, but obviously, what I'm going to assume is once she talked to the person who's seen it, that they didn't want to relay for whatever reason, and then they stopped communicating. So it's just kind of like okay. So the police had a detective come to my home maybe like 2 months later, month and a half later. Yes.
2 months later?
Yes, absolutely. With a very quick update that they knew where the car was registered. They knew which house it was, but they couldn't do anything because there wasn't enough evidence. And they didn't have anyone telling them any information. And that's where it stopped.
I'm sorry, a bullet in your body is not enough evidence.
Nope. They also came, which I understood that they had to ask these questions, but no, he didn't ask the question. He kind of told me it was a statement. He wanted to verify or confirm that, we confirmed that you were not the target. Well, duh. That's what I wanted to say. I know that I wasn't the target. That's not the life I live. So, but he was like, we just want to confirm and let you know that you were not the target. Yeah, thanks. I'm aware, but thank you so much.
So you don't have to look over your shoulder every moment of every day.
Right. So, but no, I never got full closure.
How is that? How do you deal with that? Because I need stuff wrapped up.
And normally I do too. So what I thought I was gonna have really heavy PTSD behind this. Mm-hmm. I will say for the first year, I didn't go back to that bar for like a year. I've been now. Actually, ironically enough, one day when I went, I parked. The only parking spot that was available was the exact same parking spot. So I thought that was gonna freak me out, but it didn't. So in regards to not knowing who it is, I don't feel a way about it. And I think the biggest piece from it is because I am so known in my community, a lot of people, even people that I didn't have like real one-on-one connections with, they were really concerned. And they also were giving very much like the energy of Tierra doesn't live this life. Like, so, but even though they knew that nobody passed on information, I was good with that. The PTSD that I do feel like I did have, or I still do have, I don't like when cars like slowly creep up. I don't like that. Also at the very beginning, like loud sounds of like fireworks or like those type of things. Because around 4th of July, that following year, that was a lot for me.
I can only imagine. I want to unpack this some more. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll dive in deeper. Okay. Did you say that the wound itself was so minor that you just needed a Band-Aid?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first I'm going to say what a blessing that it was not worse and that clearly you are okay and with us today. But what?
Yes.
You, girl, gets hit by a bullet and walk out of the hospital with a Band-Aid?
Now, when I walked out the hospital, I did like have the gauze and all that stuff. I did have like a little sling. But when I went to my follow-up that following Tuesday and I went to the doctor, he looked at me and asked me, "Are you sure you got shot?" "Yes, I am." And he just put a Band-Aid on it. Told me I didn't need anything else. No surgery. I didn't have anything that was hit. It was a blessing.
You're like just superwoman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking like for your students, like, you know, when I say to my students, well, when I was a child, you can say to your students, like, I was shot and had a Band-Aid and came back.
So you got nothing to complain about,
Correct.
young people.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
That is just amazing.
Because the other piece of the story, when I tell it like how the show was, but adding the Grey's Anatomy. But I also talk about the TV show The Flash, and I always say that The Flash kind of came in there and took that bullet and moved it to hit me in the right place. But I have to laugh about it, especially in the beginning. I had to laugh about it and not to avoid from like crying and all the things. Now I can laugh about it. Like when I talk about it with my students, so they say I do this thing, I troll them a lot. So I do a lot of like fake lying and tricking them. So when I tell this story, they instantly thought that I was lying. I was like, no, I'm telling y'all the truth this time. I'm telling y'all the truth. And I was explaining it to them, and then I started laughing, and they looked at me like, Miss T, it's nothing funny. And I was like, right, then it wasn't. But I can laugh about these things now. So, but yeah,
So you're open with your students about your
Absolutely.
experiences.
The main reason is because in the event that an active shooter really does, knock on wood, that something like that happens, I don't know how I will react. So I tell them that in the preparation of all our trainings and things like that. So I tell them, just in case, I need y'all to be serious about this one because I don't know how I'm gonna react, and I need y'all to just follow what I do. So I very open. Because when I worked at Northridge, this was shortly after that happened for me. What I thought was an active shooter or whatever the case may be, I was working in a room that didn't have windows. So I had the kids in there. We were working on the activity and everything.
So you had an incident?
Kind of.
Or a risk or something?
Yes.
Okay.
So the power went out. So in my room, it was pitch black. So I freaked out. Like, we were all freaking out. And I'm trying to hurry up thinking like, oh, I need to lock the door because somebody's about to da-da-da-da. And when I opened the door, the teachers are just standing around talking. And I was like, so is this not real? And they were like, oh, no, the power just went out. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was the first moment of, oh, what's going to happen? So from then on, it was just like, yeah, no, I need to be upfront with my students because in the event that I can't and I shut down, I need someone else to step up. So, yeah.
Well, what a world that you even have to add that to your
I know.
things that you talk to your students about. I'm sorry that has to happen.
But what a specific need for self-awareness. Like, that's some serious self-awareness that you have, come to know.
And it has, I feel like we've had great conversation around it too. Like, I'm very open in the sense of like, I let them ask me questions. Because the reason that I kind of started with the high school of why I tell it too, like that reason that I gave, but also social media, my social media class was like working on storytelling. So I showed my story to them. So that was probably some students' first time. Yes, it was their first time hearing about it. So like if I said it casually and they didn't hear me, they watched the show and they were like, Miss E, you were shot? Yeah, we talked about this. And I was like, no, we didn't.
So just to clarify, you're using your That's What She Said story as a tool in the classroom?
Absolutely.
Let's just make sure I'm hearing that correctly.
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Proud mama right here.
Yes.
Proud mama. Yay.
Yes. Yes, I do.
No, I mean, it goes to show the power of storytelling. So, I mean, you remember that night. First of all, it was a crazy night because there was the storms.
So it was a storm.
Yeah,
that's
there
what
were
I
like
was
storm
telling her.
warnings, and we had to be prepared in
I
case
do
we had
remember
to
that.
stop the show. But it was a phenomenal show, phenomenal cast, amazing night. But what were the reactions you got that night from people who heard your story?
For the people that I didn't know, shocked. Like, I had a lot of people coming up to me that I did not know, like, appreciative that I told that. Obviously, showing gratitude, sorry, sympathy and all the things for it happening to me. But I remember re-watching it, watching the clip and looking at the clips where you can see the audience and me paying attention to their reaction. Like, everyone was really zoned in. Like, I didn't know half those people, but they were tuned in to what I had to say, and it impacted them. It really hit them. And like, even I feel like shortly after that, I seen people like in the community coming up and saying stuff to me. So it was just like the fact that I had the courage to get up there and tell my story in hopes that it would, maybe help the next person, give somebody some type of courage, confidence, something.
But I was in the front row, and I do have to say that the ambiance of the storm, it was like, are they faking the storm? And they're like
We should do that more
audio
often.
is
Yeah.
doing like the thunder and the lightning. But I felt like, and I had never met you, but I felt like we were the only two people in that theater. Like, I was just so smitten with you as a person, and then as the story was unfolding, which is the beauty of going to a show that I haven't read, that I get to hear it with fresh ears. But I was really touched and moved by your presentation, the way you shared it, how so clearly this big, bright, shining light came through, even having gone through something so scary.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I'd love to say, we live in a world where it's just, it's one of those things that'll never happen again. But I think we need to talk about stuff so that young people know what the world is really like and can be prepared and can be safe. as best as possible.
And for people who heard that, or for your students to now know, if they have any kind of point of reference, I think that signals to them, I'm a person that you can talk to about this, and really plants that seed.
Absolutely. Because I'm really big in the classroom. I'm really big on relationship building. Like, that's my biggest thing. And it comes so easy for me just because, like, that's my personality. So pulling back the layers of, like, me being just more vulnerable for them and all the things, it does make me more relatable to them. And like you just said, allows them to feel as if, oh, if I need to talk to somebody, I know that I can go talk to her. So, yeah, I just always want to be that teacher that I've had teachers like me. I didn't have many, but the ones that did, like, I still have that relationship with them. So it's like I always wanted to be that person for
And
youth.
clearly you seek it out. You're calling your mom moments after being shot. You're a cheer and a dance. Like, in every area of your life, you're supporting and encouraging others. I think that's interesting that so many of your choices center around
Yes.
cheering other people on.
Literally,
And you weren't a
yeah.
cheerleader,
Right. Crazy.
officially. You didn't have pom-poms, but
Nope.
I suspect you've always been a cheerleader.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your true self, though.
Right.
Your true self. I mean, that's what everyone says about you. Just the most positive, the most supportive, absolute cheerleader. I think being a teacher is the perfect profession.
It is.
Isn't it interesting how the world lines up for you?
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Are you still in touch with anyone from your cast?
I talk to Bonnie every blue moon. Silky, obviously, I knew Silky beforehand. Me and Mary Catherine actually got closer after the show. So I knew of Mary Catherine beforehand, but we never really linked. So our show, then like you said, we did Dancing with the Stars together. Now she's running, and it's just like I love seeing that for her because we've had great conversations. So
Let's
I would
clarify.
say
She's running for office.
yes.
I want to see if I get it right. State senator?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. And even in that, like, seeing her specifically while we were doing this process of, that's what she said, she believed in herself, but that imposter syndrome and all the things, these were things that she had talked about that she wanted to do. And now seeing her here, where she's at now, and actually doing them, I love it. Like, I love it. There's no imposter syndrome there anymore. Especially, I do also think us doing Dancing with the Stars also helped with that. Like, she was not a dancer, quote unquote. She always still tells me that, like, I'm not a dancer. My coach did this for me. Like, she calls me her coach now. So it's just like, we have this. And she went up there and really did it like she was been doing this for years. So I just love seeing that she is going after everything that she wants right now.
I love it. We're going to take one more quick break, and then we'll wrap things up with Tierra Brown. So, Tierra, if you could go back and do it all over again, would you tell the same story?
Yes. I think that story was for the sake of words, like a portal for the next things that were coming for me.
Oh.
I do think, like, especially that entire time, like the time from the moment I got shot up until the story, like, I was in a portal. Now we're in a whole different timeline now. So yeah, I would do it all over again because I don't think I would be here without those steps.
And you're doing the things you love. There's cheer and there's dance. And I think the young people is your passion because your dance has always been with young girls and dance teams and competition. But it's about taking all this love and joy in your heart and pouring it into these young people.
Yes.
So you have found your calling, you found your place.
And before I used to think, like, have either of you seen the movie Soul, Pixar?
Okay, yeah.
So
The music one, right?
yes. So in that movie, he basically is like he's trying to find what he's supposed to, his purpose. What is his purpose? This entire time, I used to think my purpose was dance, just dance, dance. Until I could watch it, like I was in love with that movie. My purpose is the youth, like you just said. So like the kids, the youth, pouring into them whatever element that looked like. So now me as a teacher, I was a coach before, like community advocate, like all the things. But it all circled back around to the youth. And that's what I can appreciate. So that is definitely my purpose for sure.
And that dance can give, my sister who was the dancer, cheerleader, I like to rage bait her and say that cheer is not a sport. Even though in my heart of hearts, I saw how hard she worked. I know that it really was. I just use it as a sister tool. But I know she has said so many times how much like physical strength it gave her, but also how much confidence and camaraderie, just like any team sport, you are building, figuring out how to build a network and a team and how to support the people on your team. And so I imagine that's the same thing you have.
I would think so too. I think my biggest thing is confidence for my athletes, especially with cheer. If you can learn anything, I feel like. That's what I tell people about dancing and like the difference between a dancer and a TikToker. You can learn anything.
She's speaking their language. Yeah.
I don't know.
But you can't necessarily execute it like what a dancer would do or a cheerleader would do. Yeah, I can learn the moves, but just because I learn them doesn't mean I'm confident in it and I can properly execute those things. So I do think confidence overall helps with things like that. Like if you aren't confident in yourself or in what you are doing, you're not going to be comfortable. So then that means it's going to look like you're awkward. You're going to, it's not going to come off right. So, but yeah, I instill confidence in every athlete that comes across my path.
And that's like when we have family weddings or any weddings, we tear up a dance floor.
Yes.
Now, my sister looks like she should be tearing up a dance floor. I look like someone should call 911. But I do it with great enthusiasm and confidence.
That's right.
I don't have those skills, but I have the confidence. And so I'm thinking maybe you said anybody can learn and challenge accepted, my friend.
I'm here.
You might eat those words.
Yes. You let me know.
I have the confidence, just not the skill.
I'll send you some video. I might keep some in my pocket for,
This is going to be your greatest challenge yet.
I'm here for it.
Yep, okay.
You were like the original TikTok dancer when you and your friends would post, the mommy blogger movement. You were very big in the mommy blogger sphere, and I've seen some videos of you doing Zumba with your sister.
Because here's the thing, it's that whole thing of like, say it even if your voice shakes, and I'm like, shake it even if, it's horrifying to the onlookers. Yes. But man, music, it changes everything. It can take you out of a grumpy mood. It can make you cry. Like it's a powerful thing. And I see why that's a tool that you would use to build people up.
All right, let's talk about all the work you're doing outside of your job, but your community work.
Yes. So right now, like I said, I'm the co-coordinator for Toys in the Hood. So we are currently pushing to make that a nonprofit this year. So we are currently in that process. With that, we are looking to do annual fundraisers. And one of those annual fundraisers is me putting on an adult prom. I literally came up with the idea because I just wanted to dress up and
that's what I want to
fun.
know. Adult prom, does that mean anybody
25 and older.
Okay.
I definitely am older than 25.
Yes. 25 and older. And we are, we'll have a silent auction. So right now we're taking donations from different entrepreneurs and business owners. But the goal is for us to raise money for Toys in the Hood. But like I said, I came up with it because I just wanted to dress up nice and have a good time. So
when Tierra thinks of community event / fundraiser, her idea is prom for me and my friends.
Yes, correct. So that's the first thing.
Perfect.
Next year, we're going to start a pageant. So I was a pageant girl in college. When I say that was not my path. I was a tomboy growing up. I hated makeup. I hated getting dressed. I hated doing all those things. And I went to college and I joined this organization called the Bold, Beautiful, and Chic Society, which was a safe haven.
Say that one more time.
The Bold, Beautiful, and Chic Society.
Okay.
It was a safe haven for plus size women. And they created a pageant, and I became Miss Bold and Beautiful. And from that moment, it was like, oh, I could do this. But I was about to graduate, so I couldn't do any more pageants. However, I have since then helped other young people win pageants, and it's like, I got a thing for this. Now I'm about to put my own on. So it'll be the Legacy pageant next year.
She's launching a new pageant.
Of course she is.
And I'm going to say this because I think pageants get a bad rap. Pageants are empowering. You are teaching young ladies to speak confidently.
Yes.
You're teaching them to find things they love about themselves, to show up, to be bold and brave, to build poise. there's nothing not good about a pageant.
Yes.
They've come a long way.
This is very
Yes, they
true.
have.
A long way.
And one of the differences that's going to set me apart from the pageants around me is that I want to teach those things. A lot of them is just set up to say, these are the categories.
You either have it or you don't.
Correct. Not me. I want to teach you. I want to teach you how to walk, teach you how to talk, teach you how to stand, walk with poise, confidence. Let's answer these questions correctly.
If you need any coaches, I
think-
know somebody.
Well, it
I
does
think
because you
too.
think
It's true.
so much of what young people is, can you walk into a room and make hard eye contact? Can you walk up and introduce yourself? That doesn't just happen. It's not something we're born with. So having someone to teach you those skills is huge in what you have access to.
And not judge you because you don't already know.
Yes.
That's the thing about the competitive world is right. You walk in, you either got it, you don't. Someone taught you, they didn't. You're building a space where the girls can get that training, but also support, confidence, all that. This makes complete sense to my brain.
It does. It does. Well, and I'm going to say, I think that cheerleading, don't tell my sister I said this, but cheerleading and like basketball and volleyball, I think that they are so similar because as an athlete, I can tell, like when we walk out before things start, who looks terrified and who looks like I'm coming for you. Like you want to be the person that looks like I'm coming for you because you walk out shaky voice, looking down, looking nervous, you're rolling your shoulders. Like, you know, and even if you don't really feel it, you need to teach kids how to walk out there, fake it till you make it.
Yes.
Well, Tierra, Danville and Urbana and all of Central Illinois are so blessed and lucky to have you. And we are so grateful that we got to spend this time with you today here. on
Do
the
you mean it's
podcast.
over?
It's that time, my friends. I know. We still get Tierra in our lives.
Yes.
We are just done
I'm
with
here.
our time today on the podcast. So thank you for joining us and follow along for more shenanigans. We're going to go chat with our BFF, Tierra. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the She Said Project podcast. All materials contained in the podcast are the exclusive property of the She Said Project, and That's What She Said, LLC. For more information on our live shows, go to shesaidproject.com.